It's for the demonstration.
Ma'am,
That's good. Madam. Good morning, everyone. Advocate Pushkar Patil, sir, Dr. Urmila Bendale, ma'am, being an in-charge principal near Law College, Pune, Dr. Loki Dhar, ma'am, vice principal, Dr. Vidya Dhere, ma'am, IQAC in charge, esteemed faculty members, and the very enthusiastic junior batch. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to this significant event as a part of our induction program for the freshers of the five-year law course at Bharati Vidyapeeth Law College, Pune. Today, we gather to enlighten ourselves on a crucial topic that ensures the safety and well-being of every student on our campus, anti-ragging laws. Bharati Vidyapeeth Law College, Pune has always been at the forefront of legal education, fostering an environment that not only promotes academic excellence, but also instills values of justice, integrity, and respect. Our institution is committed to creating a safe and inclusive space for all students where everyone can thrive without fear of harassment or intimidation. To guide us through this important discussion, we have with us an esteemed guest who is a soul of knowledge and expertise in the legal field, especially in matters concerning criminal law, cyber law, and family law. I, Garg Jagyasi from BLLB second year, on behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth Law College family, welcome Advocate Pushkar Patil, sir. Advocate Pushkar Patil sir has been practicing in Pune District and Sessions Court since 2014 and has an illustrious career spanning over various areas of law across Maharashtra. He completed his BSL LLB degree from ILS Law College Pune in 2013, along with diplomas in corporate law from Bharati Vidyapeeth Law College and housing laws from ILS Law College. He further pursued an LLM in international commercial law from the University of Glasgow, Scotland. In recognition of his contributions, he was awarded the Cyber Techno Legal Pioneer Award in 2021. Advocate Patil has handled over 1,000 cases with commendable success ratio and currently leads a team of 17 advocates and 6 interns at Patil and Mantri Associates. In addition to his practice, Advocate Patil has been a guest lecturer on numerous critical issues such as cyber crimes, cyber frauds, domestic violence cases, cyber cryptocurrency, criminal laws, laws for women and senior citizens, among others. He has shared his insights at prestigious institutions, including Yashta Academy, Iris Law College, Christ University, MIT College, and before various bar associations and educational institutions. Today's session on anti-ragging laws is of utmost importance. Ragging is a menace that has plagued educational institutions for far too long, causing physical and mental harm to students. Understanding the framework and the measures in place to combat this issue is crucial in ensuring the safe environment for all. Before we dive into the session, I would like to request Ujjwala Bendale ma'am to felicitate sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, without further ado, I invite Advocate Pushkar Patil, sir, to take the stage and enlighten us on the intricacies of anti-ragging laws. Please join me in giving him a huge round of applause.
Good morning, students. I hope I am audible. Yeah. So, how's the new campus? Enjoying it? And how has been the environment for you all? Good. Enjoying the law college? Sir, how many of you have come into law college with an aim to give your services in this legal profession? Yes. And how many of you are here that would not get admission in other colleges or other degrees? That is the scenario, you know. When I came into practice, as in for the law college first. So we had these mock interviews because at that time I thought personally that maybe that I have to prepare myself for an interview. So one of my father's friend told me that I'll take you for a mock interview, and I will ask you certain questions, and you have to be pretty honest with yourself and me with me, and to know that whether you are capable of being a lawyer or not. So the first question he asked me, why are you here? Why are you into law college? And my answer was, which said, no, that's not how it has to be. So we started again. So I was like, what do we have to say? Then he told that you study, you come back. So he was like, all of you have done that. I used to study. Why people choose law? Why not? What difference does it make? We already have a law place. What difference does it make? What an individual I can do? So I read about it. I was pretty confident. I prepared myself. Then I again went for that mock interview. And over there, I was asked, I into law. And I was like, I want to serve this community. Oh, that's pretty nice. And how do you want to do it? I want to dedicate myself to this society to make a difference. And that difference should not only be. I am not pretty sure whether I will be famous in future or not. But from what I have read and what the news that is circulating around the society with respect to everything, any crime or any non-crime activities where students get stuck or the individual gets stuck or a woman wounded, anything, I want to make sure that I play my part, even if nobody was watching me. And he was pretty impressed. And I had this at the back of the mind that I should sarcastically make a comment that then again I want to be rich. But then ultimately, you know that unconscious when you speak out your heart, it stops you. You don't want to do certain kind of a sarcasm at that level. And at that time, I decided that one day I will make a difference. When I started my education in law, my father was already having 23 years of experience in legal field, and I never saw my dad use sarcasm anywhere in the shoes of a lawyer. Even before the courts, he wasn't sarcastic because that sense of responsibility used to cut me that no person on this earth has that audacity to stand before a court and be so sincere with the work that irrespective of whether your client is right or wrong, you have taken the fee, you have taken the brief, you work for your client. So before we begin with this lecture, I want to tell you that you came into a law school. In future, you might opt for a corporate law, you might opt for legal practice, human practice. You can go into a number of fields. But remember this one thing. It is a part of professionalism, and you have to understand this. Irrespective of what the society is saying, once you accept a brief, your client, irrespective of whether he is right or wrong, whether he has committed a crime or not, you will defend your client on all costs within the parameters of law. What do I say? Because that is the certain kind of a mistake that we forget that we are lawyers. Understand this. We are not judges. Once we are on the shoes of a lawyer, you are no longer inclined to what is morality. You work as per law. You cannot go beyond law. And the law seeks from you that you are professionally active. Once you accept a brief, take money from your client, you don't take money from your client, but once your wakalatnama, the VP, or we call it wakalatnama, once you have taken your client's matter, you are bound to protect his right. You are bound to represent your client, irrespective of whether he's wrong. Understand this. Now, why I have to repeatedly tell you this is because most of the people make a mistake. People are going to judge you anyways. You came into this college with all the efforts from your family. I am pretty sure most of you might not be having parents, might not be somebody of you might have been raised by a single parent. The journey for them to send you in such a reputed college is not less journey. You have to understand they have taken a lot of efforts to send you to a law school, and it is because of them that you are here. And I'm pretty sure you do not want to indulge into activities that is going to degrade their hard work. When I came to the law college, my parents just raised their hands and they were absolutely into the thing that anything goes wrong in your education, anything goes wrong into your college, you indulge into any fights, you indulge into any criminal activity, we will discipline you. That was the stand taken by my parents, and which is actually true. That age, if I was your age, it would have pissed me off. It would have been angry. But they have got a point. They have done their job. They have been working tremendously hard for getting me over here, and they deserve this responsibility that now you are on your own. And I think most of you are age now 17, 18, right? You're 18, right? Or 17? 18, 19? Yeah, 18, 19, good age. You have that capacity to learn new things. Now, before I begin my lectures, understand this Sanskrit text that is far more important. It is called as the Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. You protect the law will protect you. You are now the future advocates. You are going to be the future corporate lawyers. You are going to be the future lawyers. You are going to be future senior lawyers. Remember this. Do not fall down for morality. What is legal is your religion. You do not indulge anything that is not legal. Understand this. People are going to show their side. For example, most of you will be representing a rape victim. Most of you will be representing a rape accused. The society will push you down to a certain level where they will call that your person is a rapist and why are you taking his beat. It is not your job to judge your understand this. For that, we have the court. Your responsibility is to defend him. So that is the first thing you have to understand. Once you are in the shoes of an advocate, morality is not for us. We have to strictly associate with legality. There are certain things that may be legal but not moral. But your job is to follow legality. And there may be certain things which are illegal but morally right. You have to stick for what? The law. And the law is supreme. Your only religion you pull from the beginning of your legal career, legal law college career, is the constitutional religion. Even if it is amended by the law minister or anything like that nature, it is your supreme document. You will follow it, you will abide by it. And this constitution of India has several laws that are governed under it. One of which is the anti-tagging or the Ragging Prohibition Act. Understand? Before I begin this anti-ragging thing, I will tell you about one legal case that I have been handling. Whether it is relevant to the nature of our lecture or not, you be the judge. It's fine. So, when I started my practice in year 2020, I initially joined Bombay High Court. I worked over there and then did not have my liking because I understood that I have been watching my father and several advocates in Pune Court conducting the cross examination. Cross examination is something that takes place only in the trial courts. It never happens that any court beyond session court does not have cross examinations. Understand this. So when I joined practice as an advocate in Bombay High Court, frankly speaking, I did not have the knowledge. Now you would ask that being the second generation lawyer, I should have known this fact. Then I will let you know one thing. My father did not want me to be a lawyer first of all. He wanted me to join some civil services, join some MPSC, UPSC exams, which was not as per my liking because I had been into sports and sports was my liking. I had played the national cricket, so just for the record. I was more interested in sports, but then the competition is of such a nature that just as how, frankly, the hands were up that you did not receive an admission in other streams to offer for this college, that is the exactly same reason I could not get the fair opportunity and I am here. So basically, it is as per the liking, because that was the same reason why I went for the mock interview as a second interview and I was like, I want to reach. It is not the case at all. I had that intensity or that mindset to become rich. Trust me, I have handled over 500 cases as legal aid by putting my money into it. And why it happened? Because you get into the group and then you understand what is the situation. Trust me, this society is going to survive without your presence. Remind yourself this. But one act of kindness is going to matter. Understand? A simple act of kindness. Whether somebody is watching you, not watching you, it doesn't matter. Your karma, your own soul knows it that you have done something. You have helped somebody. You have made a difference in somebody's life. Is everything that is life is no. But the guilt of destroying somebody's life or the guilt of putting somebody into shame or thinking backwards will haunt you for years, trust me, which is not good. So a client approached me in the year 2014 and he was having a trouble with certain people from his society. He wanted to be a astronaut. He was in 12th standard engineering student. He wanted to be an astronaut. So he approached me on Facebook. At that time, I did not have that Instagram ID and everything. And I guess Instagram actually came into effect from 2015-16. So initially in 2014, he contacted me through Facebook and randomly he was just searching for a lawyer. He found my profile and started talking. And I was like, it's just a 12th standard person. And I used to be frankly talking with him. 1 year later, he told me that he indulged into a fist fight with those people. And like, you should go and report to the police. Why I am not reporting? And at that time, he said, no, it's fine. My parents told me that don't indulge into this. This will affect your career. You are unnecessarily get a criminal case against you. So he stopped. 1 year later, he was like, I really need your help. And I was like, what kind of a help are you trying to seek? And he was not able to communicate. At that, we don't have these features, uploading a story on Facebook, Instagram. So I used to have my post. Every post he used to like, and he used a heart in the. And now, with what the society is going ahead with, I really thought that maybe he's a gay. Why are you behind me? What wrong I have done? And then I started to avoid him. Then soon after I downloaded the Messenger because I used to get this notification on Messenger and I was not pretty active on Messenger. So I got these notifications on Messenger and I never knew how to operate it. So I downloaded the Facebook Messenger for that. And I saw I had received 9 texts from him that he was wanting to talk to me on phone and he was asking for my mobile number. And since I was gutted, yeah, आपस में खेलो. But out of curiosity, I was more like, if he is somebody, maybe of that, I would want to know. As in, it's fine, it's your choice. I'm least interested in it. So I wanted to know it. I gave him my phone number. He called me in the night of 2 You know that we lawyers are actors. You should know that. Lawyers are good actors. We have to represent ourselves in front of the judges. Pick up the call. Hello. हाँ कौन बात कर रहा है एक्चुअली अभी लेट हो गया है we'll talk tomorrow. I was like, sir, it's really urgent. And from that voice, I was like, tell me. He told me that the people that were having a problem with since past 2 years, those people in a drunk, had drunk and they visited his home. They assaulted him and his mother. And he was absolutely clueless what to do. I was a little bit shocked. And I was like, do one thing. I have a constable who is well known to me in his jurisdiction. You go to him, I'll send you his number. Go to him, visit him, tell him the audio, and we'll see what happens. He went there. That constable in the next morning called me and he called me to the police station. His telephone he called me to the police station. I went over there. I met that guy for the first time. Now, how the Facebook profile pictures are different than what you appear in reality. That was a live example in front of me. The person standing right in front of me, aged 20 years old, was a 6 feet 4 inch guy, muscularly built, and he was a national level. I was like, "Brother, you are indulging into fist fights. I really want to know that if the person next to you." And he was like, sir, I have been training under some Satyathi society, some national boxer Satyathi classes. So he demised sadly. Because of which the classes had to be closed down. And he told me that he has been into boxing since he was 6 years. And he was told never to attack. Use your power only when it is needed. Always be prepared for war, but never initiate a fight. That was his words, in his words, and pretty good at English. And I was pretty impressed. And that made me thought that maybe he just needs a legal guidance and nothing else. And I was more like, or a person of such a nature that I don't think you stay in touch with the don't know what your feud with those people is, but understand this. Stay away from the police station, stay away from the court. You are pretty young. You don't need such activity. 3 years later, there was newspaper cutting. Two people were murdered in February on a 70. Any cases with one murder? The boss. He was fed up. He was fed up. Emotionally drained. So I went to take his Alatnama. He already had some senior advocate. I just go to curiosity. You know, that curiosity is the godfather of all the emotions. I went to meet him in the jail. 3 times I tried in the Wakalatnama to visit him, but he refused to meet me. One day he was brought into the court, and through his mother, I tried to contact with him. I asked him why, why, and at that time he said that when you get fed up of playing the victim, you do something that you have no recourse other than becoming the villain. And he smiled. 2016 onwards, 8 years have passed. He's still in prison. All his bail applications till the Bombay High Court have been rejected because the court finds that the way he murdered is not an act which was in self-defense. Naturally, he is a boxer, national boxer. The attacks that he must have laid, his two punches hit of the deceased on the head so hard that he had a 7 centimeter fracture in the skull. So I was hearing his bail argument, and his senior was arguing. The senior was arguing pretty beautifully, and he was like, he argued that aspect. You can't keep somebody for so long, for so many years. You have to give him some kind of limit. He's been 8 years behind you now. Did not agree. Now, whether this is relevant to the topic today or not, you be the judge. I want to tell you that the prison system in India and the judiciary is so overloaded, and the prisons are so heavily loaded that it has become impossible for any person who has once gone into prison to come out easily. So if one person is being arrested in a non-deliverable case, for an example, a small case of street fighting is taking place. In those days, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, usually when those persons were brought in to discuss to the court, they used to get paid on the same day. They used to be released from court that you pay 15 to the cash surety, you arrange for a personal surety, you give an undertaking, you leave. Now the situations have changed. Once a person gets arrested in such petty offences, he is first shown the door. Once he goes into the prison, it at least takes 4 to 5 days to get him out. That is the workload, and I am talking about petty offences. Offences which are punishable only up to 3 years, those offences. So this is the situation that you have to understand as lawyers that the judiciary is heavily loaded, and there is nothing that is helping you to do about it. If the law is heavy. is going to reform the laws and laws and laws, and that is not theoretical. Practically, when you as an intern or a lawyer, you will realize practical situation is far more different than what you are going to learn. That is why do the internships. It is more helpful. Even if for 1 month, do the internships. And for betterment of your own understanding, for 1 month, give 1 month only to criminal law. Why I am saying it because you will understand the reality of how difficult it has become even for the judges. Because tomorrow most of you will give the exams of JMFC. You will give after 10 years of practice, you will give the exams of sessions judge. You will understand that there needs efficient lawyers and efficient judges to deal with such cases. When the last time I heard the senior argument for releasing that on bail, because that was the fourth bail application. You know what the judge said? The imprisonment for such a heinous crime is life, and it is only years. It is only years. Only, only. How long ago were you 16 years old? Sounds pretty far, you know. Look back, you are in 9th standard, 10th standard. Remind yourself about the set of labor on your school. How were the days? How is it now? Tough. 8 years, 8 years. Unfortunately, his mother also demised. So there is the last time I met him, he was like, "I have no purpose in life than to sit behind the bus." Aeronautical engineer, wanted to be a so, dreams crushed. I hope you understand what is the life of today. Now coming to today's topic, now at the end of the lecture, you relate whether this topic was relevant or not, but understand this. Now that you are in Maharashtra, you are being protected and you are being governed by the Maharashtra Anti-Gagging and Protection Act, which was introduced in 1999. Basically, the Central Act came to be introduced in the year 1997. Initially, Tamil Nadu was the only state which introduced the anti-ragging law in 1997 because of several cases. One of the cases that happened in Tamil Nadu was about the Pon Navasu and John David case. What had happened in that case? 19-year-old students, college students, first year students, engineering students, there had been a trend since 30 years that the seniors used to drag the juniors, and why that was called a happy ragging. And what reason they were giving was, we are trying to connect with the juniors. That was the reason that they were giving for 13 long years that ragging was there. This very concept of ragging was initially has emerged from the concept of Greek mythology. Greeks used to do the ragging for purpose of giving the youngsters or the young army military persons who are going to enter into the post to give them the taste of what life is going to be about ahead in life. But over the period of time, it went from the civil services, it came to the medical colleges, it came to the law colleges, everywhere it is spread like cancer. Under the name of anti-ragging, what they try to do is under the name of knowing each other, the seniors are now turning to calling this happy ragging by new names, especially, and you won't believe, you will laugh, but it is a practical situation. By the first name, it's called the freshers party. In 2021, when the lockdown was relaxed and we had the opportunity to resume the work physically, we received a case from a prestigious college where people were called for the freshers party, and you won't think what had happened. All the party throwers were fourth year students, and only one person was given this invitation. And he was looking more like feminine. No beard, no mustache, short person, slim height, no muscle weight, small kid. Belonged to a happy family. His father was a civil servant, retired person. Sent his son to the market, doing working happily, everything is good. They sent an invitation of freshers party only to this one fellow. And his roommate was a fourth year student. That fourth year student convinced him that everybody is going to come because since understand this, a fresher who just entered into a hostel after the lockdown, he was not knowing anybody else. So the only source of information he was receiving from his senior. His senior told him, say several people are going to come over there. There are going to be fresher girls. You will like it. They charged him 3,000 rupees for that fresher bar. They took him into the bar. Four fourth-year students raped that guy. Freshers bar. His father was so helpless that after 2 years, he withdrew his complaint saying that I don't want to, harass my child in future and we will change the college. They left me forever, never again. This is why the UGC, these incidences such like this are the reason why the UGC has made certain rules which were introduced in the year 2009. And those rules makes it compulsory for all the colleges to give a induction lecture on the anti-ragging law. Now, I want to share with you certain things that you have to remember. These freshers party and all are good. You go mix up and everything. But are you having that age to enter college? Ask yourself. Just when you come into law college into first year, it does not give you the wings or the license to start drinking, smoking, mixing your credits. Not happening. Ask yourself whether any kind of invitation comes to you, whether that invitation is in the college campus. Because eventually, if you all are belonging to the first years, you can be friends amongst yourselves. But there has to be a need for somebody to throw about. Tomorrow you will become civilians, or somebody from the pressure community will come. They will require your help. Would you to indulge yourself into such kind of? Why would you? Ask yourself. So in this case of Paul Lugosu, what had happened? His father was an IS officer, and his father, retired IS officer, was also the chairman of a college he was studying in, engineering college. He wanted to be an astronaut as well. 19-year-old boy. So this John David, who was a 23-year-old student, 4 times failed in first grade. After 2 years of failing, you cannot give the exam for the third time. So third year comes as a discount. That third year is gone. So again, fourth year is failed. That kind of a failure is kept in that college. So their tradition was every first year students, whoever takes admission, they used to make them stand in a line. And all of the seniors will slap them until they fall on the ground. So this John David fellow, he came to Paul Nurgusu, he started slapping him. Paul Nurgusu was crying, but he did not fall. John David pulled his hair, gave a cut to hair from here, spit on his mouth, and told him to lick his boots in front of the college. He will. And all the people over there, including the remaining freshers, first year students, first year girls who take admissions, for them it was funny for some reason. Everybody was laughing. He committed suicide. And unfortunately, John David was let off for good behavior after 4 years. What was that use of this? Because he perpetrated a lived only for how many years? He didn't even taste the soup of his own. Now, in one more case of Aman Kachuru case, I guess it is a pretty famous case about it. Aman Kachuru's case is a classic example that the UPSC and the Supreme Court had become so vigilant, so vigilant. Aman Kachuru in the year 2009, a person having fainting characteristics, those voice, that voice, that's not everybody is born similar. Some people are going to be having that voice. Hey, hi, how are you? Hey, how are you? They are naturally like that. You can't help it. But what is wrong is, we as society have failed them. We just, even me, have all have failed them. Because we have to ask ourselves, if that person is being born and brought up in such a situation, how are you going to change that? You have to accept the person as he is. Because that is his right under the Constitution of India under Article 22. You cannot take it up. The Supreme Court cannot take it up. The government cannot take it up. And for example, no perpetrator can take it up. So this person, extremely kind, extremely helpful, he was trying to prepare irrigation for the country for plastic wastage. He was made to stand in the toilet area. Same situation. These perpetrators, I would like to name them: Ajay Verma, Hindu Sharma, Abhinav Verma, Naveen Verma, and which I would not like to name for obvious reasons because she also committed. These four persons took all the freshers in the washroom, made them stand, slapped them until their nose bleeds. That was the fresher treatment. They slapped Aman Kachru so hard for so many times till 4 o'clock in the morning, and that incident started at 8 p.m. at night. 6 hours on only one side, these four people and the girls slapped these fellows. Next, he went to file a complaint. Wasn't pretty aware where to file the complaint. He informed through a letter, and he was showing dizziness. Requested his friends, I'm not able to breathe. And ultimately, he thought that he has been a ship in this movie. So he went to the railway station and jumped in front of a running train. Later in his postmortem, it was found that his head was bleeding internally because of the slaps. The college restricted these fellows. These fellows were let off by the Supreme Court for good conduct after 4 years. But the Supreme Court thankfully initiated the UGC guidelines and a Raghul committee was set up, and Raghul committee was set up for the purpose of introduction of certain committees. That is why every college is now going to have an anti-ragging committee. This anti-ragging committee in your college is the head of which is going to be the principal herself. And she will nominate certain committee members which she thinks are going to be vigilant. Now, apart from this anti-ragging committee, there is also an anti-ragging squad. Now, this anti-ragging squad is basically a group of persons who may not be part of the committee, but who are going to have observation upon all of you. And it is not necessary that they have to disclose their identity to you. Understand this. Any person sitting within you might be a member of the ragging squad. This person has to go and brief the committee on regular basis what he is doing. He might be a student, it might be a parent, it might be a teacher, it might be you, it might be any watchman, any person. Understand this. Your anti-ragging squad is active in your college, and the college is not going to risk with respect to that. Apart from this, there is going to be a monitoring cell. The job of the monitoring cell is to give the reports to the committee and the squad if any person is found in ragging activities. So this college, by far from what I have learned and I have myself graduated from expert to corporate law, understand this. You are lucky enough to get an admission into this college because this college thankfully does not have any such incidents ragging. And one of the reasons why it is that because this college runs upon a zero tolerance policy. And by means of zero tolerance, understand this, 2 years ago, field trip was taken, a normal scuffle over a water bottle took place. Both the perpetrator and the initiator both were prosecuted immediately. So zero tolerance policy is followed in this college. Understand this. If you do an activity, even if that is not under the category of ragging, it will be deemed ragging as per the committee, and both of you will not. If you place in fact of ragging, your first job is to immediately write a letter to the principal and send her an email. And for your knowledge, take out this anti-ragging number, which is 1800 double five double two. This is the anti-ragging helpline. It is 24 hours active. Do not try to misuse the helpline. Again, I repeat 180 5522. There have been total reported calls on this number to the tune of 4,67,000, and it's not shocking. 4,50,000 calls were only to confirm whether the people is active or not. Don't do it. Also take this email helpline at antiragging.in. If you face anything, immediately report to the committee. The maximum time you get to report to the committee is 7 days of the action taking place. After 7 days, if you go and file a complaint, it won't be a problem. The college is going to look into it, but make sure 7 days time is given as per the guidelines. So it's always better you follow the guidelines. Within 24 hours, you are also to inform the police. If you don't know how to inform the police, it is always better you connect with your hospital, you connect with your teacher, you connect with your friend. Make sure you report each and every aspect. Any small thing today might be a bigger incident tomorrow, so don't risk any small things. Anybody affecting you, speaking all about you, talking about your task, talking about your looks, talking about your voice, talking about your nature, your preferences, sexual preferences, anything. Do not take it lightly. Go and speak to your teacher at least within 7 days of the incidents. And make sure that you file the email to the college email ID. Now, apart from this, I will like try to enlighten you to a case of iron 30. In that case, iron 30 belonged to social backward community. He was not very good with English, and he had taken admission in the medical college in the reservation. One of the misconceptions of many people is that the social media has been circulating that reservation people get favored, they don't have to pay the fees, and they don't have to do this. It's clear throughout. Understand this. The people coming from the lower strata of the society have suffered a lot. Understand this. We have to sympathize with them because they do not socially get accepted easily, and that has been a problem for many years. Now that you are law students, you have to understand, irrespective of which category or which caste or which religion or which gender a person belongs to, you have to be human person. You are lawyers now. You are no longer belonging to any other category of fields. You have to be fair, just, equal with everyone. You have to believe in yourself as a law-abiding citizen because definitely the society is not. Everybody is going to have their own preference, but you can make a difference in your own capacity. So this reservation, that has to be given, why that has been given is because for several years they have been oppressed. People make fun of them, social media has been making fun of them, there have been memes on them. But understand this, except for law, there is nobody going, there is frankly nobody else there. And why do we help them out is because to uplift them. And in such a situation, if a person belonging to a ghost family, he is again pushed into that place. That is not just bullying, that also again is different than bullying. Understand? Bullying can have several effects. But for purpose of rank also, who gave you the right to do it? And that was the reason why when I 30, a student, she was harassed by 6 students because of her skin. She was darker skin. And the problem is, there was one more fellow within those 6 people who also dark skin students. These 6 people were forcing her to engage into physical activity with him. But why? Her father was a rag picker. A person in a family is trying to change the course of the family, trying to uplift them, doing hard work. Only hope that the father has a daughter, and she was told to establish physical relationships with another guy, 26 people. She was so better. She did not even think of a second, and that she just wrote one letter. Because she was given the first prize for handwriting when she was in high school. She was able to have cursive writing. We always have to be having it. My handwriting is worse than the doctor's. And so sweet, such beautiful thing. I'm standard student getting first prize. And in handwriting, you could sense the fear when she wrote that suicide. That is the difference. That what will a father do? There is nothing you can do. She committed suicide. Six people were let off by the Honorable Supreme Court by 4 years for good behavior. So your perpetrator, understand this. Now one more case of Ahmad being basically a person who wanted to become an aeronautical engineer. Now there have been a lot many incidences that I have been discussing about the engineering college and all because there has been a sensitivity. Yes. This person, his father, you know what his father used to do? His father used to make devices for cars that could give the car higher mileage. That inspired him that in future I will become something so extraordinary. He wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. And for that, what he tried to do was he wanted to invent aeroplanes for single citizens that could fly at an altitude of 1,500 feet without even any guidance of the flying authority. Any individual person can fly to their work without the load of traffic. Anywhere between 15,000 to 1,500 kilometers. That was his dream. And for that purpose, for the induction lectures, everybody was there for presenting their inductions, what really matter. So in interview, he had shown his willingness that he had invented a small box, and for that small box, he had attached the pistons of a four-wheeler, small cardboard box. He attached the pistons of four-wheeler, and with his left hand he pulled a wire that made the box run on a two-wheeler, on a cardboard, on a car machine. And with the right hand, once you plug it, it will stop the flow of petrol, kerosene, and that entire engine would run on the air system in a balance in a nature where only the wheels are running that can see the energy. And that was his concept for introducing a single particular vehicle. Such extraordinary knowledge. And to that, seniors came to him for purpose of caring. They introduced him and they told him, can you show us how you made it? So he prepared a cardboard box from the shelf, pasted it, and they told him, where do you put the thinner? Because they did not have the petrol at that time. And he was like, we need alcohol. Innocent thing. So he put that thinner into the four-wheeler engine, in the cardboard box that he had made. And that for that purpose of thinner, it was not going inside. So he was telling them, I require to have cold temperature to push that thinner in. Because thinner being the diesel being the heaviest. So he was convincing them that this cannot go because of there is no cold. So this way, four, five seniors took him to the college canteen. They put his vehicle into the freezer. And he was like, it's still not going, I'm not able to do what to do. So these people said, why don't you go into the freezer? They made him sit in the freezer for 1 hour to put that thinner into the vehicle. He blew that thinner with his mouth. All that thinner was on his hands and clothes and everything. He did that. He came out 4 o'clock in the morning. He showed them that vehicle running with the ropes. They all cried, very nice, very nice. Then they told him, Jao, abhi so jao. They put him into his room. They set the entire room on fire. 8% going on body because he was total. The last verse is one of the perpetrators told to the committee girl, I want to make my mom. ragging for you. Understand this. Your parents have worked a lot to send you to this college. Just as how you would not suffer anything like this. Keep yourself in the shoes of the remaining six people who were convicted in this matter. You saw them setting up the place on fire, but they did not open their mouth. So the UGC guidelines are strict that if you witness anything, do not report it to the college, and you turn hostile, that also amounts to an offense. So if you people see such incidents and do not report it to the college, you will also be restricted. Now, for the purpose of simplicity, if somebody is engaged into activities of ragging in college, that ragging did not necessarily be physical or verbal. There are incidences where outside the college, any dispute takes place between two people, तो मेरे को college के बाहर भी, college के बाहर भी ragging का clause extended है. Understand this. As long as you are a person, as long as you are a student of this college, even if you are staying in a hostel, you are governed by the anti-ragging law. You are protected by the anti-ragging law. And understand this: any person by himself or through anybody else outside the college, if he tries to threaten you, harass you, cause you verbal abusement, psychological abusement, or compel you to do an act which you are not wanting to do, amounts to ragging. Now, a small case I would like to share with you, and this is an extremely saddening case, and we fortunately were the lawyers for the perpetrators, but we couldn't help it because ultimately I told you one thing: we are advocates. Who is right, who is wrong, for that court is there. Your responsibility is to appear for your client, irrespective of whether he is wrong. In this case, a student, first year student, took an admission to medical college, he fell in love with a girl, one-sided love. That girl did not complain about such a behavior to anybody else because she was obviously scared to tell to her parents. She thought her parents would cancel her admission in such a prestigious college. She did not speak up, did not tell it to any teachers, nothing. She fell in love with another fellow. They both had an affair. This third person, love triangle person, who could not, gulp down this fact, with his 10 friends, directly entered the hostel of the boy. They raped him with bottles in his hands. That boy was on vegetative state before he died. And this girl turned hostile before the police because my parents would be afraid. Ultimately, the committee extracted the truth. It came to the fore that that girl was being harassed. She was let off. All the remaining persons are still fighting the case. The first punishment the college can give is that rusticate you from the college and the hostel for a period of maximum of 2 years. And if you are indulge in an activity which is extremely grievous in nature, you will be debarred from taking education for 5 years. Now, for purpose of medical colleges, engineering colleges, after certain age, you cannot complete the course. So, any which ways is going to destroy your career. Now, a person convicted under the anti-ragging law, even if you are restricted for 1 year or one semester, that means that it is going to be police verification, it is going to come, it is going to come into your passport, it is going to come on your Aadhaar card, it is going to be anticipated everywhere as per the criminal laws, your biometrics everywhere, and you will never be able to get a government job. That is the reality. Once you are debarred for 5 years and above, no other college can give you admission because that mark is going to appear in your school leaving certificate, college leaving certificate. So it's always better stay vigilant, inform the classes. Now, interestingly, I will give you one incident to you, which is an extremely good incident. 5 people, first year students, if you might be believing that only students are coming ragging upon juniors, is not the case. It can be a reason. First year students, 5 years from Uttar Pradesh, मैं पीछे हूँ, हमारा कोई क्या बिगाड़ेगा? Went to the freshers, 7 freshers, welcoming them, offered them the drink. Now that is also a law. Understand that they have breached the law. The age for drinking is 25. But these people who are the fourth year seniors who are also 22 years old offer offer drinks to students who are belonging to 18-year-old category. That also is a crime in itself. But these people drank the liquor, they stripped their seniors naked. They beat them with bamboo sticks. And the horrible thing that happened in that party was that they chewed the tobacco and gutka and told them to open their mouths. Fortunately enough, one person, pretty vigilant enough, and the monitoring cell committee informed this to the college, and victims, 14 victims were rescued, and all these 5 people are now permanently barred from taking education. Their petitions are pending with the High Court, UGC, and Supreme Court, but it's not going to be of a helpful nature because it has all been taken in CCTV, and God may help them. But understand, it is not about the age. It is about the extent of being students. And if a student is engaged into having a teacher, God may have mercy upon you because technically your parent in this college for the purpose of education is the teacher herself or himself. So it's always better that you keep your friends involved. Do not go to parties at this age because destiny has a weird way of playing with our lives. You never know which kind of a force is going to follow you. It's always better to come home early, stay safe, be good, because you already know if you get behind the bars, 8 year बहुत छोटा time. I hope you relate the case now. So stay vigilant. I hope you have liked the lecture and thank you everyone and thank you. This was basically my 76th lecture on the aspect of several topics that I have covered. And my wife is sitting over there, Karishma, my wife. So yeah, so yesterday I was briefing her and I told her that reminding every day 400 times that this is her birthday month does not amount to packing. That is what I mean.
Thank you so much for the enlightening session. As we conclude this enlightening induction session for the first year law students, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks. First and foremost, I express our gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Advocate Pushkar Bhatt, sir. So your comprehensive and insightful address on anti-ragging laws has not only enhanced our students' understanding of the legal framework, but also instilled in them a strong sense of responsibility toward creating a harassment-free campus environment. Your expertise and passion for the subject were truly inspiring. I also thank the respected principal ma'am and vice principal ma'am for the unwavering support and guidance in organizing this event. Dila ma'am and Priyanka ma'am, there's a special appreciation for their meticulous planning and execution of the seminar to our new students. Thank you for your attentive participation. Your active engagement in the session demonstrates your commitment to a positive and inclusive campus culture. Lastly, I extend my gratitude to the Almighty for making this event a success. Thank you all once again. Let us move forward with the knowledge and awareness gained today, working collectively to eradicate the menace of ragging form from our campus and society. Thank you.